What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the next M25 video on my PS4. Please do me a favor, take a moment, hit the like button for me, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Criticism in the comment section. As always, run over to Twitter, give me a follow. My username is Shutdown Safety. I told you last week when I first unveiled it, the Coach Me app is going to revolutionize the way we handle gameplay breakdowns, and I think this is going to be a perfect example of that. Hope you guys take a moment to check out the app, but I still want your feedback on it, whether it's something you want to see before or after the gameplay. And this is going to be a bit of a long video because there's two things I want to discuss here. I want to talk about adaptive AI. Is it really in the game? Do we have a defense that's able to make adjustments on the fly to correct things in its defensive scheme to make the gameplay more realistically? I want to discuss that with you in depth because it's something that really troubles me when we talk about the game understanding what's going on. So the halfback, Trent Richardson, is going to come out here and basically catch a pass in the flat, and he's being covered in man by this linebacker right here on the opposite side of the field. Now, the linebacker that can't be at fault here would be right here, the middle linebacker for the illustration purpose, who's actually in man coverage with the tight end. So as the tight end goes out and runs his route, this linebacker kind of runs back and tries to cover him. So to me, that's one of the players that is not interchangeable. But the player that could also be at fault here would be this linebacker right here, who's actually blitzing in between the center and the guard. At some point, he should understand, wait a second, I'm blitzing, but I'm also in a better position to cover the halfback. And as the halfback goes over, even with a pre-snap read, this linebacker should know to come over here and try to provide better coverage. Instead, that only happens when the offense puts the tight end into motion. And the interesting thing would be the offense actually hurts itself when that happens. So when the tight end is not adjusting and going over, this linebacker continues to try to run through the line interactions. The safety, or excuse me, the guard, the center, the nose tackle, trying to get over to the halfback. And it should be a situation where he starts to get stuck here, where the halfback runs out, where he should say, okay, I'm out of this play, and tries to go and pressure the quarterback, who's actually back here at that time making the pass. And he doesn't. He continues to try to, force himself upfield through the offensive line to get out and make a tackle on a player that is now way up the field. So we're going to load up Madden, take a look at the play, and then we're going to go from there. So here we are away from the chalkboard into the game, going to play this for you at speed. This is the example where the tight end has shifted, and to me, this actually impedes the offense. I don't know why they would do this more than once, because you see here the player that we actually have in question, Abraham, is actually going to run back in coverage with Dwayne Allen, and what this allows to have happen is the shift between number 57, who's now blitzing the quarterback, and the player now in assignment with Trent Richardson would be Darrell Washington. In my opinion, even though he's going through a suspension, one of the best middle linebackers in the game. So this really puts the advantage to the Cardinals, because you see there, even though it's not the best coverage, Washington is able to come out, make a very easy, quick read. He's in better position just from a starting point to pursue Richardson, and this really allows this to be an ineffective play. Now we're going to go ahead and load it up the other way, and then we're going to play it a few times at speed. All right, so here we have Allen on the right side of the formation on your screen. Going to play this for you at speed, and to me, this is what we're seeing really continue to hinder this game and really just not understanding of fundamental football and concepts playing out on the field to create a simulation. I mean, we take a look here at what Abraham does. He's on the wrong side of the field to cover Richardson to begin with, and then all of a sudden he starts to run in, and to me, this is the most interesting part of this play. I mean, Thornton and Abraham are basically face mask to face mask, and it's almost as if the offensive line does not understand that Abraham is a threat to Andrew Luck. It's like they know that he is going out in man coverage and are not going to engage and block. I mean, what other explanation do you have for this situation? And you can see there, again, he gets into a position where now he's behind the two offensive linemen. He's continuing to look over at Richardson, but he needs to make that assessment that right now he is continuing to get further and further out of the play, and his best bet is to go back and try to pressure Andrew Luck, who's really only about 2.5 yards from him. Instead, he's more focused on Richardson, who's basically running full speed, I would say 10 to 12 yards away. And, instead continuing to try to go up the field, run through the line, and get to a player that really is well out of his grasp to cover. And to be honest, he's not even one of the first two players to get here to try to make the tackle. So, going to go through here, play the game out a few times, and see if this continues to hold true. All right, so here we see, again, another dump off to Richardson because Abraham doesn't make his adjustment. This is Dwayne Allen going in motion, so we already know this is going to actually impede the offense. And again, even though, actually, Richardson puts a good move on Washington, he was out there in the flats to provide better coverage. And then there we see again, out in the flat, Abraham unable to make his adjustment. So we're continuing to see, you know, this same situation. But there again, you see, he runs directly into the offensive line, and the ball just continues to go out into the flat, into the flat, into the flat. Alright guys, so you've got like some cutting room floor stuff here. Now, obviously I do my videos in sequence, so you know, the 8-9 minutes of gameplay prior to this, I just got done shooting. I mean, literally, you know, 30-45 minutes of gameplay. I'm firing up my laptop to do my video editing, and I'm just letting the game go, like it's been going. And I catch this out of the corner of my eye. I am so proud that we can go through now with the Coach Me app and show you the X's and O's of football, and I'm literally excited to show you guys this play, because this is 2K-esque. This is almost flawless. But I don't know anyone can dispute this is not exactly what you want out of a football simulation. And I must say, man, you know, tip of the cap to the developers and programmers that this is in the game, but boy do we need to work at how consistent this shows up, because this should be every single play. Abraham drops back, he points to Washington, he points to Richardson. I mean, look at what happens here. He points to the defender, he points to the offensive player, and they switch assignments right there on the field. Abraham goes back to cover Allen, Washington goes out to the flat to cover Richardson. This is exactly what I drew up what they should do. That to me is impressive. I'm glad that's in the game, but like I said, man, it needs to really be consistent across the board.